We are now talking to Hamilton Tigers Cats wide receiver Jaelon Acklin. What's going on, Jaelon?
Nothing much, just chilling at the house.
Just chilling at the house. You watching a baseball game? You were telling me off air.
Yeah.
What baseball game?
Yeah, I don't usually watch baseball, but there's not many sports on, so
What baseball game are you guys watching?
we're watching Florida State versus Wichita State in the 2006 College World Series.
Wow. So, how are you and your family doing with this pandemic right now?
We're doing good. I mean, as good as we can. I live in the Ozarks down in Missouri, so there's a lot of like floating. We've been going like kayaking and stuff, and I've been playing basketball and football with my little brothers. Been working out every morning, so I mean, it's been nice. It's like I'm in high school again or something.
So, Jaelon, why don't you tell us a little bit about the CFL? I've watched the CFL for the last 10 years. Everybody knows where Kurt Warner came from. He came from the CFL. What is your thoughts to the CFL and the growth of the Canadian Football League?
I love the CFL. It's a different experience. Even though it borders the United States, not very many people from the States have really been up there. It's a beautiful country. Everyone's I love coffee and pancakes, so I fit in pretty well there. So, but yeah, the CFL as a league, it's a little hard to get used to. The running, you have to like run forward at the snap as a wide receiver. But once you get the hang of it, I mean, it's a lot like the NFL or any other college football. A little different having 12 people. There's different coverages, different things you gotta look for. 'Cause there's always like 2 or 3 safeties in. You gotta kind of adjust to that, but I like it overall. It's a lot of fun playing as a wide receiver.
What do you think are some of the differences, just based on one, a larger field, and two, the rules of the CFL, in terms of what is different about the CFL or Canadian football in general in comparison to American football, where you played in college?
Yeah, a lot of difference. So the one was being like in the middle of the end zone. So that was kind of weird. Also, you can actually, like, if you're on off, catch a ball and the game's tied, I can kick it to the back of the end zone and we get a point. So that was a little weird, kind of like a rugby type deal. We actually had that on us, but they didn't get it. They have, but it's not that hard to adapt to it. And as far, it's basically just like playing on the field. In my opinion, I can't really tell the difference between how big it is. Just because there's one extra, so there's more men on the field.
As you guys know, we are talking to Hamilton Tigers Cats wide receiver Jaelon Acklin. Jaelon, I know you grew up a big football fan. Is there a particular player that stood out to you as a kid that you always wanted to play like or you wanted to be?
Yeah, my would probably be soccer. I always wanted to be Cristiano Ronaldo when I was a kid.
Not
But,
football?
Football, probably John Elway.
John
That was
Elway.
my favorite as a kid.
You're a wide receiver. You're a wide receiver. Why would you want to be John Elway?
I played quarterback
Oh.
throughout high school. That's why I didn't like get any looks in college at wide receiver. I played at like a really small school, but I like John Elway's swag and stuff. I liked how he carried himself. So I always like wanted to be like him.
Is there a particular receiver that you think you model your game around the most, whether it's in the NFL, whether it was in college football growing up, or is it still John Elway being the biggest influence on your game?
Nah, I would say I worked out with Ed McCaffrey in Denver. So he played with John Elway too, and my dad always talked about Ed. So Ed McCaffrey is the one. Or Adam Thielen, I like Thielen, I like Michael Thomas, but Ed McCaffrey is the one that, just a tough wide receiver, catches everything. Knows where to catch the ball. I would say Ed for sure.
Well, it's funny you say Ed because his son, Christian McCaffrey, is one of the best running backs in the league. So there you go.
Yeah, Christian works out at the same place I do, Lando.
Mm-hmm.
He has a bigger brother, I think. I forgot his name. Plays wide receiver at the 49ers. So yeah, Athletic family, though.
We're talking to Hamilton Tigers Cats wide receiver Jaelon Acklin. Now, Jaelon, playing in the CFL, the game is completely different from the NFL. The speed of the game, different rules. When you look at the NFL and the rules and how they're trying to change the rules right now, they're trying to take the onside kick away. You can challenge plays now on the field because of the whole Saints debacle against the Rams about 2 years ago. What are your thoughts with the different rules from the NFL to the CFL? And if you actually were brought or you were signed by an NFL team, how would you fit in the NFL style of game with the rules different from the CFL's?
Yeah, that's a tough question because the game's always adapting, especially with the kickoffs and stuff. Special teams players aren't as needed in the NFL anymore as they used to be for like a roster spot for like a return man per se. But in the CFL, you can't be within 5 yards of a returner whenever they catch the ball. So you need a good return man. And, so as far as me, I wouldn't be able to be like a kick returner or anything in the NFL. I don't think, like as far as like a system I'd be good in would be like a Patriot system or something like that. I'd always want to play for the Patriots. I've always liked the Giants for some reason. I don't really know why, but I'm a real big fan of Barkley and them. But as far as rules go, I've always played with like American rules. It can be that difficult. But the CFL, there's still rules I don't even know in the CFL. Like there's a whole bunch of like quirky rules, but I just try to ask the players, ask the vets as it goes on.
Is there a difference with the route concepts as a whole with the CFL because of those different rules in comparison to what you see in the NFL? Is it a greater variety? Is it more different in terms of what they specialize in more? What are some of the biggest differences you've noticed?
I'd say it's more down the field, more read routes because you only get 3 downs, whereas in the NFL you get 4 downs to go 10 yards. So you basically only have 2 plays to get 10 yards. So that's why there's not as much running in the CFL as well. Running backs aren't as valued, I'd say, as they are in the NFL. There's a lot more down the field pass plays because you got to get more yards per play than you do in the NFL.
Now, Jaelon, is there a particular player in the NFL that you can kind of compare yourself to? I mean, the speed, the stamina, or just the route running. Is there a particular player that you have watched in the last couple of years that you can compare your game to?
I used to always really look up to Adam Thielen, just because he was from a small school. But one player that I really, really like watching right now is Michael Thomas.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, in terms of the NFL wide receiver position as a whole and the CFL wide receiver position as a whole, do you think the rules have really shifted it more towards the wide receivers because of the rules? And do you see that kind of thing in the CFL, or do you think the CFL has done things a little differently?
Yeah, I think the CFL has done it a little differently, but I mean, not too different. CFL is like a big proponent of like player safety, and I know the NFL is getting into that now. And the CFL actually already had you could review penalties and stuff before. They're kind of like the people who tried it out for the NFL. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know.
The NFL is completely different from the CFL, and the coaches are completely different. When you watch coaches like Bill Belichick or Andy Reid and watch these guys coach their players, and you see some of the talented players they have, like Tyreek Hill, when you watch these players, is there a particular coach that if you were to, like I said, if you were to go to the NFL, is there a particular coach that you would like to play under? Is it a Bill Belichick? Is it a Andy Reid? Or is it a Harbaugh? Is there a particular coach that you just like his style of game and that you would love to be coached by that particular coach?
Yeah, I mean, there's coaches that I really like. There's no coach that I really dislike, but I really liked Harbaugh whenever I was there. He was a gritty guy. I've always liked Belichick. I feel like he's a blue collar, do things the right way type of guy. And even Andy Reid. Every player that I played with that had the chance to be under Andy Reid has really liked him. So I mean, obviously anywhere I went in the NFL, I'd like to go. But as far as coaches, Coach Harbaugh is a really, really good coach to me, and he's a really good guy off the field too.
In terms of your teammates, you actually played with two All-Stars this year, and Braylon Addison was one, and Brandon Banks, who also used to play in the NFL for the Redskins. What are some of the things that they've taught you as a wide receiver, and what is your experience like of being their teammates now with Hamilton?
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. They taught me more of like what to do off the field as a pro, which really helped me out. Like Brandon's really good with like dealing with issues off the field. He actually owns like a lot of businesses. He kind of taught me like how to use my money and stuff. And Braylon's kind of taught me like the importance of film. Braylon was one of those guys that was like the first guys in, last guys out of the building. So I'd always stay and watch film with him. We'd go over like the weaknesses of the defense. So they kind of all taught me a little bit of everything.
Jaelon, playing in the CFL, is there a particular corner that you just don't play well against? Is there a particular corner that you love to play against in the CFL?
Nah. I mean, I see all corners as tops. I feel like I do good against any corner I go against. But a corner that I really did respect, he's at the Bears now. His name's Trey Roberson. He played for Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very athletic corner that I went against. He was a pretty good guy. He talked a little smack, but yeah, he was nice. He got my respect.
This year, you guys went to the Grey Cup this season, and what was that experience like of that whole playoff run, just the season in general, a very successful season, all the way to the championship?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, would have liked to win it. I've never really won a championship in football.
Really?
But yeah, it was really cool. It was a cool like first experience for me. First year I got to go to the Grey Cup, but hopefully I get to go to some more and then hopefully win.
Jaelon, was football your love in high school, or did you play other sports that you saw yourself as a better athlete in? And why did you choose football over all the other sports that you were good at?
Yeah, no, I always like dreamed of playing professional football. I never really thought of me doing anything else, honestly, even though I went to like a small school and stuff. But I did play basketball and track. I won state in the hurdles and track. But yeah, even whenever I was a little kid, like I'd always envisioned myself like playing catch outside in the yard and like just being on TV. I don't know. I just always wanted to play football.
You talk about the small schools a lot, and again, between FCS schools and Division II schools, a lot of these teams aren't really as highly touted in terms of thinking that the prospects are going to be good, but at the same time, some of them have been good. We were talking about Adam Thielen. He was D2. Carson Wentz, when healthy, has been very good at FCS school. Do you think those guys get disrespected and that fuels them to a certain extent being from a smaller school?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I know a lot of small school guys that have made it, and you just gotta look at it as like a chip on your shoulder, just like you said. And I mean, it motivates you even that much more every day because you know that like you could have been somewhere else, but this is the team that took a chance on you. So you can't hold it against anyone, but like you just gotta use it as motivation just to be better every day.
One of our fans are asking us on our blog. Carl is asking, what is it like traveling when you're playing in the CFL?
Oh, it's sick. You get to go everywhere. Like Montreal is awesome. That's where they all like speak French and they all drive like foreign cars. Everyone like smokes cigarettes. Like you're in a movie or something. And then Calgary's really nice. It's like the mountains. And Vancouver's really beautiful. It's like right by the ocean.
It's beautiful over there. Yep.
It's a totally different, beautiful. It's unreal. So you get to experience like a lot of different places. And me being from the Ozarks, I'm just thankful because a lot of people from here don't get to do that, but I'm lucky enough to get to.
Did you ever watch that TV show on Netflix, The Ozark?
Yeah, that's actually from around where I'm from.
Really?
The show's based off that. So yeah, I've only watched one season because it kind of made us look bad, but it is what it is. Viewers.
Do you have a favorite moment or play in your CFL career so far, or even your college career if you want to go back that far?
Yeah, probably college right now. I would say we played UNI on homecoming, and I caught a pass, the game winner, with like 6 seconds left. Like my whole family was there, so that was pretty cool. Like you've ever been to UNI Stadium or heard about it? It's like a dome, and they seat like 45,000, so it's pretty loud. It was a pretty cool experience. But yeah, that was probably my favorite catch.